Fandom, noun. The fans of a particular person, team, fictional series, etc., regarded collectively as a community or a subculture. I'd give my life on you. 'Cause you are the reason why I'm still hanging on. 'Cause you are the reason why my... When it comes to fandoms, I've been around the block and I know a thing or two. And a lot of them seem scary and downright dirty when really they're harmless. And a lot of them seem all cute and fuzzy when they're really the devil, the literal devil. And in this video, I want to go over a few fandoms that have been on my mind and have been on my timeline as of social media wise lately, and go over what you should steer clear of and what you should really embrace and enjoy. For the harmless category, I'm just going to name off a few of these fan bases because they don't have any downsides, except for the fact that, there are a few unsavory fanfics and, some very unnecessary shipping. But then again, what fandom doesn't have that? Undertale, My Hero Academia, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Cuphead, and honestly, out of this list I think that's pretty much it. Like, the rest of these have some kind of downside that's just too big to ignore. Now, for the cautionary side of this scale, they'll give more explanation as to why they're on the cautionary side and not on the lethal side. Okay, the first one on the cautionary side would be the furry fandom, because it was made for harmless at first, but then it turned into more of a kind of a iffy situation, because I did a little more research and found out that a lot of people give it a lot of rank, like, oh my god, the furry fandom is so gross and so weird and blah blah blah, who likes animals like that? Have you not watched any Disney movie growing up? Did you have a childhood? Like, yeah, I get like some of the fandom, like a small fraction, a small portion is a bit iffy when it comes to their when it comes to their artwork and their writing. But that's like a very small fraction. And the rest is really just kids who know how to draw and who enjoy walking, talking animals. Like Madagascar, when I was growing up, that was my favorite movie. You could not get me to not want to watch that movie. It was crazy. Next up would be Voltron, because a lot of the fandom is pissy because clans didn't come true and we only got 2 scenes between Adam and Shiro. But in all honesty, I feel like clans was never real. The fandom created clans, not the actual show. The fandom created clans. And who knows, there could possibly be more Adam and Shiro flashback scenes on the way. You just gotta stay with the show and be patient. And then again, like a lot of people say, oh, I'm not watching it. I'm never watching it again. Yes, you are. You're gonna tune in as soon as season 8 drops. That's what happened with season 6. People were so emotionally drained from season 6. But at the same time, as soon as season 7 dropped, they were gone. They were up at 3 in the morning, ready to go. Here we go. I'm about to watch it. Stay up all night and watch it. Because that's what I did. Now, when I say lethal, I don't mean it in the sense of, oh my god, these fandoms are terrible and you should stay away from them. I mean it in the sense of, like, these fandoms put out great work between fan art, stories, and music. But they also carry some baggage. They don't put out baggage. They carry their own baggage. Actually, now that I say that, some of these fandoms do put out baggage and they put it onto others. And that seems so mean, but it's the truth. Now, when I first started watching Rick and Morty, it was so funny to me. Like, it was so hilarious. But then, as soon as season 2 dropped, I was done with it. I didn't want nothing to do with it. It just got weird and the fandom got involved and this whole, you have to have an IQ of this to watch and Szechuan sauce and I pickle Rick. Like, no, stop, please. I cannot enjoy my day when I hear people just use that. That's like Twitter talk in real life. That's local. That's a local right there. Okay, now the Steven Universe fandom, I feel as if it's just a bit out of hand. Like, don't get me wrong, they put out a lot of good art. They're a positive force of nature and they do a lot of good things with their music. However, there are some incidents that have happened that are just ridiculous. Plain, simple, and ridiculous. Like the first thing, the fandom almost bullied a girl to death over what? Over how she drew her characters? Over how she drew Rose Quartz? That's stupid. That's really stupid.
Hey guys, I drew fan art of Rose, but I made her a skinny legend.
That is fat shaming. You have to die.
Alright, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Forever. Oh. Rose was Pink Diamond, and she was skinny the whole time.
Oh no. I've committed a murder.
One of the show creators and artists just got off of Twitter for a while because they were tired of dealing with people's mess. And I would have too. They had to step up and tell people, if you didn't like the fan art that was drawn, then draw your own fan art. It's all for fun. And that's just all around just pretty pathetic and sad. To the point where it's like, are you honestly gonna sit there and say, the show showed this character at a certain weight, but this one fan drew her at another weight. I'm gonna constantly harass and attack her for no reason. That is so disgusting, it makes my stomach flip. It's gross. Now this is old, but it kind of needs to be mentioned in this video because it was just unnecessary and unsettling how this just unfolded. A man by the name of Ostrich Vox, he's a YouTuber on YouTube on a group channel called The Roundtable. He came after a terminally ill child who had the chance to meet Rebecca Sugar and some of the other animators and creators on the show, and was given consent by the creators and by Rebecca Sugar to leak some of the episodes for the upcoming special, the 4-episode special Wanted. Now, Ostrich Vox found out about this and went on a Twitter rant and came after the kid for no reason. And he had consent, and it was okay. So he was mainly the only one who was mad, and then everybody else came after him, and he made an apology video, I believe, quite some time later. But he still made an apology video. He was really sincere, but at the same time, it just unsettles me how a grown man came after a sick child over a cartoon. Insane. Now, out of all these fandoms, I feel like Steven Universe is the worst. It is the worst, even though the show itself is amazing, downright amazing. But at the same time, it's like a 50-50 thing, and it's just kind of sucky that the fandom kind of ruins the show for a lot of people who just want something good to watch. Now, let's do a little experiment. Take the furry fandom and take the Steven Universe fandom and put them side by side. They both, in my opinion, get the exact same kind of negative stigma, the amount, in a sense. And why? Let's see. The furry fandom gets its negative stigma because of what? Because people assume that the entire fandom has some non-advertiser friendly things going on with animals and like real life animals. That is not even close to what the furry fandom is. The furry fandom is literally a generation of artists coming together and making art and enjoying the time and being confident because they can't be confident out of their personas. But the Steven Universe stigma all has reason. You have social justice warriors coming after people for no reason. You have a grown man attacking a sick child. You have one of the creators of the shows having to discuss the fact that you shouldn't bully people because of how they draw their art. And even then, he was attacked after that, and he had to get off Twitter for a little while. So if you asked me, I feel like the furry fandom, along with a lot of other fandoms that get negative stigma, should just be left alone. If you don't like it, and do not go after it. There's no reason to attack somebody. There's no reason to attack people. If you don't like something, just leave it alone. That's just my big thing. But fandoms aside, both positive and negative sides, if you just look at the subculture or the show as a whole, I feel like you should let your own personal opinion determine whether or not you like it. That's just plain and simple. Like, oh, I like these people in the fandom. I want to stick around and hang out with them more. Or, oh, this show's it isn't for me. I'm just gonna leave and not say any negative things about it. And I know we live in a day and age where we have to voice our opinion and we have to say what's always on our mind. But sometimes, if you just don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. And that's just a simple, downright fact. And that's elementary school. That's literally in elementary school. That's elementary school teaching. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, share this to everybody you know. And I'm gonna go take a nap now because this video took a bit longer than expected.